Tesla's out, SpaceX is walking, and Elon Musk just threatened to cut every US contract, then signed a secret deal with BRICS. While Washington fumbles over tariffs and subpoenas, Musk is handing Starlink to India, wiring Tesla's AI into China's state grid, and moving billions in infrastructure beyond US control. The Pentagon called him a risk. Treasury launched an investigation. Trump called him crazy. But what if this isn't rebellion? It's succession. But here's the question. If Musk doesn't answer to Washington anymore, who does he answer to? Because the world's richest man just left the table and took the future with him. On June 5, 2025, Elon Musk publicly accused President Trump of ingratitude and threatened to terminate U.S. federal partnerships, just 72 hours after Tesla's value plunged 14.3%, wiping out $150 billion in market cap, according to Bloomberg. This wasn't an impulsive reaction. It was the culmination of months of decoupling. Tesla withdrew from federal EV programs, SpaceX halted Pentagon coordination, and Starlink abandoned military satellite reviews. There were no public briefings, only strategic exits. Musk's statement before Congress on May 14th made his logic explicit. If innovation is punished in the US, I'll take innovation to countries that still believe in it. Since then, Musk has refused to prioritize US policy, instead aligning Tesla's infrastructure with jurisdictions beyond Washington's reach. The Wall Street Journal reports that federal officials were blindsided by the speed of this retreat, prompting one DoD source to say off record, "We didn't lose Elon, we priced him out." But if this isn't a protest, why is he still building, and where? After the Pentagon's first quarter 2025 request for override access to Starlink was denied, the U.S. immediately removed SpaceX from 3 satellite procurement lists, totaling over $4 billion, as confirmed by the GAO. Lockheed and Raytheon filled the vacuum, while Boeing inherited a classified Pacific surveillance relay. Meanwhile, South Africa, Brazil, and India, 3 BRICS states, accelerated Starlink integration. India, in particular, defied U.S. pressure during March bilateral talks, stating that Starlink's rollout was an internal matter, per Reuters. By June, pilot coverage was active across 5 Indian states, with full national deployment set for quarter 4. Notably, Russia's leaked procurement requests reference non-state LEO providers with military-grade communications, widely interpreted as an indirect invitation to Musk's team. As one RAND analyst told Bloomberg, Starlink isn't exiting the defense space, it's just changing flags. But if Musk's satellites are no longer under Pentagon jurisdiction, who decides where they orbit next? Following the March 2025 EV tariff expansion, Tesla quietly cut ties with all US-funded EV corridor and grant initiatives, redirecting resources toward a $2.3 billion infrastructure deal in Brazil. That agreement, according to Brazil's Ministry of Communications, includes a national charging network and battery R&D labs, none subject to U.S. regulation. Concurrently, Tesla rerouted critical supply chains through ports in South Africa and Malaysia to bypass compliance bottlenecks triggered by U.S. trade rules. Bloomberg Intelligence notes this pivot reduced Tesla's U.S. exposure by 38% in the second quarter alone. This isn't retaliation, it's architecture. Musk's logistical realignment is designed to function entirely outside Washington's regulatory domain. A senior Tesla official, speaking anonymously to the Financial Times, called it a firewall against policy whiplash. But this restructuring has deeper implications, especially when you look at what's quietly unfolding inside China's energy grid. In May 2025, regulators in Guangdong quietly approved Tesla's auto bidder AI for use in municipal energy balancing systems, marking the first U.S. origin algorithm embedded in China's state-linked energy infrastructure this year, per filings reviewed by Bloomberg NAF. This platform, originally designed for fleet vehicle optimization, is now managing automated power distribution across high-demand industrial zones in southern China. No Tesla logos, no press releases, just back-end deployment. Unlike NVIDIA or Google, whose AI tools were blocked under tightened 2024 export rules, Tesla's system sidestepped scrutiny because it was registered as a commercial non-vehicle energy software. Treasury officials have since launched a compliance review, but Musk maintains the tool falls outside controlled export categories. Yet, as one analyst at the Center for Strategic and International Studies told Reuters, "This isn't a licensing question, it's a sovereignty issue, and Musk just planted US code in Beijing's grid. But that grid may just be a test case, because Musk's systems are scaling far beyond China." Picture this. In 2020, the Pentagon gave SpaceX a front-row seat in U.S. defense modernization. By mid-2025, it's been shut out, while BRICS countries rush to onboard Starlink without Washington's consent. Brazil formally requested a national Starlink expansion in May as part of a $1.1 billion education broadband package. South Africa's April parliamentary hearing listed Starlink among final candidates for emergency network delivery. India is coordinating satellite interoperability standards with Brazil, naming Starlink as a primary integrator. All of it bypasses the US entirely. These aren't private ventures. They're national infrastructure projects signed without oversight from a country that once bankrolled every major SpaceX breakthrough. So here's the real question. If Musk no longer answers to Washington and he's not pledging loyalty elsewhere, then who, if anyone, is in control of the most powerful civilian tech network on Earth? Well, on May 29, 2025, the U.S. Treasury Department quietly launched a review into whether Tesla's AI-driven energy platforms exported to China, Brazil, and South Africa qualify as dual-use technology under revised 2025 export laws. According to Bloomberg, the probe targets Tesla's auto bidder and grid balancing tools now used in foreign state-linked utilities, questioning if these systems bypass AI trade restrictions enforced after the 2023 CHIP Act expansion. Musk's legal team insists the platforms are, quote, commercially non-sensitive. Yet Reuters reports that Treasury officials are treating this case as a test of post-chip enforcement thresholds. While no formal sanctions have been filed, insiders told the Wall Street Journal that the case could set precedent for determining whether US-developed AI can be embedded in non-allied infrastructure without triggering federal clearance. This isn't just about export control. It's about redefining where national security ends and commercial autonomy begins. But if Musk's software is raising alarms in Washington, why are other governments closing the door on him too? By June 2025, Musk's companies were quietly purged from two of the U.S. government's highest-profile advisory bodies. Tesla was removed from the Federal EV Infrastructure Forum, and xAI was excluded from the National AI Strategy Group, replaced by Amazon, Microsoft, and Anthropic, as confirmed by Reuters. A senior White House official told the Financial Times the decision stemmed from, quote, persistent alignment issues and Musk's unpredictable international partnerships, especially in energy and satellite infrastructure. These cuts came just weeks after SpaceX denied Pentagon override access to Starlink, and Tesla signed a non-US regulated charging network deal with Brazil. In response, Musk posted, "If DC wants control, it can build its own infrastructure. We'll build where we're needed." According to Bloomberg's tech policy correspondent, the move marks a shift from cooperative decoupling to strategic sidelining. But while Washington is cutting Musk out, America's allies are suddenly questioning what happens when his loyalty and his satellites don't come with a red, white, and blue manual override. As of mid-2025, key U.S. allies, Germany, Japan, and Australia, initiated formal reviews into their exposure to Starlink infrastructure, citing concerns over operational independence and command ambiguity during geopolitical crises, according to the Wall Street Journal. Germany's Federal Network Agency began examining Starlink's refusal to comply with NATO contingency protocols, while Japan's Ministry of Internal Affairs delayed national service approvals, citing the absence of clear wartime governance. Australia's May defense briefings warned of the precedent set when Musk disabled Starlink near Gaza and Crimea. These aren't just abstract concerns. Starlink now underpins emergency communications, remote surveillance, and broadband access across multiple defense zones. A NATO advisor speaking to Bloomberg called Starlink a strategic asset without a chain of command. And yet, none of these countries have banned the system. Because, honestly, despite the risk, Starlink still outperforms legacy networks on latency, resilience, and price. So if allies are this uneasy, why is China doing the opposite, handing Musk the keys to scale? In a move that stunned energy analysts, China granted Tesla regulatory clearance in May 2025 to expand its Shanghai Gigafactory and deploy AI-powered fleet optimization software nationwide, just 2 weeks after the US finalized its expanded EV tariff package. According to Bloomberg, Tesla received new land use rights for battery production and gained localized data exemptions that even domestic rivals like BYD have struggled to obtain. More surprising, officials from Anhui province confirmed Tesla would co-lead a public-private EV research lab in Hefei, with state subsidies helping offset the cost of US-based manufacturing cuts. While most US firms are retreating from China under tightening tech controls, Musk is scaling in, making Tesla the only major US tech firm to deepen operations inside China's strategic industrial core in 2025. Chinese regulators appear to view Musk as a transactional partner, not a geopolitical actor. But, as one Asia-Pacific trade analyst told the Financial Times, Beijing doesn't need to own Musk. It just needs to offer him room to move. So the question now isn't whether Musk still needs America. It's whether America can afford what comes next. The breakup is final. So who gets custody of the future? This isn't a regulatory spat. It's a geopolitical custody battle over the most influential technologist on Earth and the infrastructure he controls. By mid-2025, Musk isn't just distancing himself from US policy. He's designing around it. Tesla's AI is powering China's grid. Starlink is running in India, Brazil, and South Africa, beyond Pentagon reach. SpaceX's launch manifest is 40% international, and XAI is training models in UAE data centers. Meanwhile, Washington is scrambling to rebuild trust, replace Musk in strategy circles, and investigate what it once subsidized. This is the cost of losing leverage. Not because Musk declared war on America, but because America became, in his words, a place where innovation gets punished. So here's your question. Has the US just lost the last technologist it couldn't afford to lose? Or has Musk built a playbook that other firms and rival states will now try to replicate? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're glad you're enjoying this video. Please like and subscribe. Check out another video that is now on your screen.